Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast in Sarasota, Florida, rainy Sarasota, Florida. And this week I'm not out in the garden, as you can see, but we're still going to have a great morning. We're still going to have a lot of fun. I've got my friend here, my flamingo. So she's part of my props this morning. How about that? So I'm so happy that you're joining us. I told you who I am, and I know who you are. You're a unique expression of that living spirit. And for those of you that I haven't met, I still know the same. And I also know that you're a part of me that I haven't met yet. That's Valerie Kaur's message, see no stranger. And I absolutely believe that we're all connected. We're all connected. We're of that one spirit, that one source and substance of all life. The living spirit is absolutely everywhere. And when we become aware of that, wonders never cease. Wonders never cease. And that's what we're talking about all year long. That's our theme for this year, is living everyday wonder. And I'm up for it. I hope you are too. I'm real excited about that theme. You know, and we have over 400 centers for spiritual living, communities, and across the globe in 30 countries, and we're all talking about that this year. And we're all waking up to presence right where we are, no matter what we're engaged in. The divine is there, God, energy, source, whatever you choose to call it. And so we want to live our lives in that sense of wonder with curiosity, seeing everything with a sense of awe. With a sense of awe. And so that in every area of our life. So that's what we're looking to do this year. We've got 11 more months, and each month of the year we're going to take a specific area of our lives and look deeply at that with the lens of curiosity, with excitement and anticipation for how we will find spirit in everything. We want to live this teaching, you know. It's a 24/7 kind of thing. As I said last week, it's not on the cushion. Our spirituality is not when we're just on the cushion in meditation. It's not just on Sunday mornings when we're tuning in. We live it. We live it. It's a way of life. And even when we don't like what we're experiencing, or what is, or let me rephrase that and say, especially when we don't like what is. We don't like what's going on. That's when we absolutely want to wake up to the everyday wonder that can be found in the presence. So this morning we're talking about embracing the now, the presence. Last week we talked about cultivating a sense of wonder everywhere, because we're immersed in it, we're inseparable from it. We cannot be removed from it. And if it's everywhere, then it's everywhere all the time, right? So we're looking at that piece of it this morning. I asked you last week, how often do you fail to see the divinity in everything? You know, it's a skill that we hone. And so we're going to start now. Why not, right? We're going to begin this morning of learning how to stay in the present moment, to keep our attention in the now, not in the past, not upon the future, not resisting what is, but embracing it, rather. And we can train ourselves to do this. And so let's begin right now. Just join me in settling into your body right where you are. Feel yourself completely supported in your chair or upon the ground in which you're standing. And allow yourself to really let go in that space, to really be present. And so we can scan our bodies. Scan our bodies and just see if there's any tension anywhere. Head to toe, front to back. And breathe into it. Allow your breath to really come in and just flow through your body. Breathe in. Feel it flow. Breathe in. See that as a circular motion. Breathing in. Allowing it to flow and feel into your body. Feel into this present moment. At every, for each person here in this room with me this morning, but for everyone that's tuning in. Whether it's this morning, in this present moment, or if it's sometime in the next present moment. What I know is there's life pulsating, breathing me, presencing itself in me and all around me. I tune in. I feel breath, that living spirit moving through my body. I'm aware of it. I can be aware of the mind chatter. I can be aware of the sensations around me, the sounds around me. And I can tune in, and I do tune in this moment, to that which is trying to seek my attention, that which wishes to express and explore life in a greater way, in, as, and through me. Because in fact, I am that incarnation of the One. And so I allow it to move. I pay attention. I listen. I'm alert. And in this way, I am engaged in life, and my life expands. My mind expands. My heart expands. I truly am present here, now, receiving the gift of life in its totality. This I affirm for each one of us in this moment and the next, and so it is. We're transformed by our alliance, our alignment, our awareness. And so I want you to pay attention this morning to our musician. She's been with us for a long time, but every time she does, there's movement. There's a spiritual movement. And I suggest it's because of her alignment, but get in tune with her song, with the movement, with the words. Be present for the totality of the experience of Mindy Simmons. Here she is. Thank you.
Is this where I should be standing? Yes? Over this way? Good. So this song came to me when I was in deep despair. And sometimes I write songs, and sometimes the muse writes songs through me. This came through me when I needed it the most. It's called Permission Granted. And I invite you to embrace the permission to claim your worth. There were times in my life when I thought God wasn't there, when I found myself distracted and I fell in deep despair. But as I spiraled into doom and my life filled up with gloom, I heard a voice inside of me as if it meant to set me free. Permission granted, my child. Whatever is your will, permission granted, my child. Your every dream can be fulfilled. I have made you after me, and so you choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. So as I journey through my life with all its struggle, toil, and strife, when my head is spinning round, can't keep my feet down on the ground, when it feels I can't go on and all my rights turn into wrongs, I stop and listen attentively to that still voice inside of me. Permission granted, my child. Whatever is your will, permission granted, my child. Your every dream can be fulfilled. I have made you after me, and so you choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. And so I've learned throughout the years, with all the smiles and all the tears, all the sad things and the good happen just the way they should. And as I co-create my life every day and every night with God right here eternally, I find it's all been up to me. Permission granted, my child. Whatever is your will, permission granted, my child. Your every dream can be fulfilled. I have made you after me, and so you choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. I have made you after me, so go on, choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. Namaste.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. It's so nice to be back here in the Garden Center. We know that we'll be with you all soon. My name's Camille Chapman. I'm doing a reading today from a speech given by Werner Erhard in 1973, and I would urge anyone to look it up and read the whole thing because it's amazing. The name of the lecture was called Life, Living, and Winning the Game by Werner Erhard, who was one of the founders of EST, which is now the Forum, which is just a great education that aligns with this education so much by really getting us related to what is. So that's what this is about what is. What is. When I am being myself and nothing more, nothing less, when I am doing exactly what I'm doing, when I'm allowing what is so around me to be exactly like it is, when I'm being right here, observing it instead of where I am going, when I am observing it all just as it is without adding judgments or evaluations or comparing it, then I observe that it is perfect. A thing is perfect when it is the way it is. Shoot, sorry, I just lost it. There it is. A thing is perfect when it is the way it is, when it is itself. To take away or add to that would produce a flaw. Therefore, it is all perfect because in terms of experiencing, that is to say, living, what is so right now, what is so right now. Truly, that is the whole realization. There is nothing startling about that. What is, and what isn't. So what? That's precisely what people say when they find out. enthusiastically, so what? There's an enormous freedom in experiencing that. When you can really observe and experience that, it transforms your ability to experience living. Thank you.
So what? Say yes. There's a blessing every morning when you open up your eyes, whether thunderclouds are rolling or sunlight lights up the skies. There's a wonder every moment. What will Spirit send my way? So I lift my head up high and I sing this to the day. I say yes to life. Ain't no doubt about it. I say yes to life. Gonna stand right up and shout it. With God here in my heart, I know there's nothing I can't do. So I say yes, yes to life. And as I hurry through my afternoon, I'm checking off my list all the things I'm getting done, making sure I haven't missed, taking time to count my blessings as the miracles unfold. They happen every single day, just like in days of old. So I say yes to life. Ain't no doubt about it. I say yes to life. Gonna stand right up and shout it. With love here in my heart, I know there's nothing I can't do. So I say yes, yes to life. And in the evening when I'm thinking about the things that I've been through, and I'm contemplating all the other things that I can do, keeping God first on my mind is my daily meditation. Spreading peace and joy, my full-time occupation. I say yes to life. Ain't no doubt about it. I say yes to life. Gonna stand right up and shout it. With Spirit in my heart, I know there's nothing I can't do. So I say yes, yes to life. With a Spirit in my heart, I know there's nothing I can't do. So I say yes, yes, yes to life right here and now. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. Wow. Thanks, Camille. That was really fabulous. Right, spot on with what I'm talking about. And Mindy, you always are. We don't even have to talk about it. It's like you hear me, you get it. So, do you ever have the feeling that life is passing you by? You know, maybe you've reached a certain age and you think, life's passing me by. I can remember hearing a 30-year-old, someone I dearly, dearly love when he turned 30, lamenting about the benchmarks that had not been met yet in his life, the achievements that he had not yet realized. So I think that at any age, we could have that feeling, certainly not young children, but that life is passing us by. But what if we could feel for the first time, no matter how old we were, or again, no matter how old we are, that we're in the right place at the right time, doing what we're supposed to be doing, that as Camille said, life just is, and we have great wonder and joy in that we are enthusiastic, that we're engaged with it, we're in the flow, we're amazed by it. What if? Well, I say we can, and why not now? Why not now? So we're going to talk this morning about this concept of now, time. Really, what is it? The quintessential modern writing on now has to be Eckhart Tolle, right? The power of now. But he wasn't the only one who's talked about this. He certainly wasn't the first one who talked about it. Remember Jesus in the Bible saying something about the lilies in the field, they toil not? Yeah, they're not fretting. They're not fretting about what's happening in the future. They're not worried about that. Like they're just present. They're just shining. They're being their brilliance, right? They're being their beauty. And he cautioned us not to borrow trouble, right? He said that each day is going to have its own trouble. We don't have to borrow trouble. We don't have to make it worse. And because the point is, when we do that, we're missing the blessings of today, right? We're missing the blessings of today when we live in our thoughts. When we're distracted in our thoughts, we're missing what is right here in front of us. But even 500 years before Jesus walked the earth, we had the Greek philosophers telling us this, telling us that the allness of life is infused with being, the living spirit, right? That it's without end, without beginning. It's one, it's whole, it's perfect, it's complete. You can never be separate from it. You can never be in just a part of it. Its fullness, like a hologram, is everywhere present now, and continuously. Always has been, always will be, in this fluid now moment. The allness is here. And they told us that guidance was available if we would listen. That there's wisdom inherent in all life, right? Parmenides might have been the first one to tell us not to judge by appearances. I know we saw that later in the Bible, but he said it some 500 years before. To not judge by appearances, that the one is divinely ordered. Its energy is present everywhere, and it's orchestrated by love. It's infused with love. The allness everywhere, infused with love. So then Eckhart Tolle speaks to this, and he speaks to how we get caught up in our thoughts, and when we get caught up in our thoughts, we lose focus of what's real. We lose focus of spirit in the what is, right? And we lose focus and connection to that love. So the pain that we feel in life, the pain that we have then is because we're in our head, we're judging those appearances, right? We're worrying, we're toiling. We're toiling instead of being our beauty, right? So the masters, the mystics, they have all told us to be present, to stay present. And not only to stay present, but to accept what is, to drop our unconscious resistance, as Eckhart Tolle calls it, our unconscious resistance. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're also going to touch on the how and the why of this concept of being present. The why do we want to do that? Well, to stop the struggle, to ease the pain. Why do we want to do it? So that we're present to the fullness of life, even the ickiness, because that's how we are engaged in life. Zen teacher Charlotte Joko Beck, in her book Ordinary Wonder, Zen Life and Practice, said, to maintain awareness is to be alive as a human being. That's why. That's why. To maintain awareness is to be alive as a human being. Well, dang. I don't want to miss out on being alive, right? I don't. I want to consciously wake up, consciously be immersed in life, not pushed and pulled, but alive in my life. The definition of immersion is the state of being fully engaged, so absorbed and present in the world so that you can savor the gifts all around. So that you can savor the gifts all around. That's why. That's why. So observing your thoughts instead of believing them is a very powerful lesson that we want to get to. So the how. How do we unhook from the struggle? Well, the easiest thing I can tell you is pay attention. And it is a skill that we perfect through our practice. So let's start, right? Why not now? Why not now? And I mean that literally. Why not now? So I want you to let go of this conversation. Just let go of the conversation for a moment. Tune back into your body. Drop everything. Tune back into your body, your thoughts. Whatever seems to be calling your attention, give it your attention. Make contact with it without judging, without trying to change it. Simply be with it. Hear it. See it. Touch it. Feel it. This is a new now moment. You've never had this moment before. Lean in. Surrender to it. Be filled with it. What do you notice? Simply, what do you notice? All right, come back with me. We can do that at any time. And there's not a right and a wrong. There's just a do it. Why not now? Just do it, right? So back to Eckhart Tolle. He says the more we can do that, the more we can be present, the more we can really tune in to what's going on in and around us, the more freedom we have from the pain and suffering. And so he recommends that, again, that we drop this unconscious resistance. So I want you to hear those words, unconscious resistance. Well, how in the heck do we do that? How do we drop an unconscious resistance? Simple. Just like Camille said, we become aware. We simply wake up to it. We simply allow it. We don't resist it anymore. And sometimes we resist. Oh, there goes my flamingo. Sometimes we resist because it doesn't feel good, because it's icky, because it's messy, and we don't want to get our hands dirty. So we resist. But the sages have all told us that enlightenment does not mean that there won't be illness, that there won't be loss. But wanting life to be different than it is certainly not going to lead us to enlightenment, much less peace, right? So I have a friend who has a mindfulness practice, and she's a spiritual teacher. And she shared on Facebook just this week that she has COVID for the second time. And what she noticed was when she was fretting about it, when she was in that feeling of, it's not fair, you know, I don't want to be sick, I don't like how I feel, she felt worse. But when she was present with what is, when she made herself a cup of tea and enjoyed it, it eased up when she was present to what is. See, we add to our own pain through our thoughts. We add to our own pain through our own thoughts. Wouldn't we want to wake up to that, right? So again, Eckhart Tolle, he's talking about how this concept that we have of time, the way he explains it, I find it really fascinating. He says that our thoughts cover up the present moment. We cover up the present moment with our thoughts about the past and with our thoughts about the future. And what happens as a result of that is that we cover up our true self. You know? He says the infinite creative potential of being, which is inseparable from the now, becomes covered by time. And then you get covered up by time, too. Interesting thought, right? Listen how he's talking about this concept of time. The covering up with time, covering up the now moment, it gets worse and worse and worse as we continue to do it, as we continue to ignore and deny the precious moment. And so paraphrasing, he's talking about an accumulation of time, right? An accumulation of time, always being in the past or the future, ruminating on what happened or fantasizing or fearing the future. We're adding to our pain. Not only are we adding to our pain, but he's talking about our individual pain, but our collective pain. That like the collective unconscious, the human mind, the collective mind, acts as a depository for all of that pain too. All that covering up of the now moment. So you want no more pain? He says stop creating time. Stop creating time, he means be present in the now. He says, make the now the primary focus of your life. Can you imagine doing that? Make the now the primary focus of your life. Have your dwelling place in the now. Always say yes to the present moment. I love those. Those are all 3 quotes of his. Well, plus the stop creating time. Stop creating time. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Have your dwelling place in the now. And always say yes to the present moment. I just simply love those. They're delicious. Make one of those your mantra for the week. He goes on to say, what could be more futile, more insane than to create inner resistance to something already that is? What could be more insane than to oppose life itself, which is now and always now? Surrender to what is. Say yes to life and see how life suddenly starts working for you rather than against you. Our minds label, our minds judge good and bad. But if we stop those criticisms, if we at least become aware and diffuse them, we find freedom. He says suddenly everything feels alive, radiates energy, and emanates being. So here's the order that he's given it. Accept, then act. Makes sense, right? Wouldn't it make life so much easier for us? Accept, then act. Whatever the present moment, he says, accept it as if you had chosen it. I love that. As if you had chosen it. Work with it, not against it. Make it your ally, not your enemies. And I've got some examples of this, of how awareness precedes awakening. There's a young couple that here in town that I love very, very much. I've known them for a long time. I've known the husband almost his entire life. And they have 2 beautiful children. They have a beautiful family. And I was talking to Mom the other day. And she sensed that there was something unique about her son, her youngest, her second child. Typical markers weren't being met, and he had unique sensitivities. And at 18 months, at his 18-month checkup with the doctor, her suspicions were confirmed that they suspected he had autism, so they went through the testing process. Well, she was already so engaged in finding best practices with her son that diagnosis would not and did not become the enemy. They went to work with it. They got curious about it. So curious that she even began noticing similarities in him with herself, with her father. And that gave her hope because they lived great lives. successful lives. Her awareness grew as she got more interested. She actually joined an adult group of people with autism, and she learned even more. And she found new friends. So this embracing life with her son, she's been finding and seizing opportunities that she didn't even know existed in life. And let me tell you, those pictures of him going to school, starting school last week or week before, it would melt your heart. Just melt your heart. He was so excited and so engaged in what he was doing. It's really exciting. We want to engage with life like that, right? And it's easy to see that when we engage with life, instead of pushing life away, there's actually health benefits to that. There's many stories of women who found a lump early enough, of a man who saw a spot early enough and had better chance of success, right? Conversely, if we're ignoring symptoms, denying what is, it worsens the prognosis. We win nothing. We insulate ourselves in no good way by denying, refusing, resisting life. I want to embrace life, all of it. That's what it's about. That's what we're here for, I think. Mary O'Malley, in her book, What's in the Way is the Way, says curiosity is the art of bringing your attention and your immediate experience together. Curiosity is the art of bringing your attention and your immediate experience together. Curiosity, it's a mindfulness practice. Being present moment. Think about having a difficult conversation with a friend or your partner, an argument, if you will. Maybe where you felt attacked, you felt unappreciated, you felt unseen, unheard, unsupported. How did that turn out? Ask yourself, where was your focus? Was your focus on what you were hearing, just what you were hearing, or was it tainted with all your thoughts? Where was your focus? With practice, we can become aware of what we're feeling in the present moment, and then we can avoid saying things that we later regret, right? And it's just a skill. It's simply a skill that we can hone. It's a skill of observation. You know, when we just take a moment to check in, how am I feeling physically right now? Is my jaw clenched? Is my belly tight? Is my shoulders up? Are they tense? Is my mind spinning with thoughts? Label them. Just sit. And the more we do that, then in real time, when we're having that conversation, we notice the thought and we can simply be curious rather than attacking. We can hone our listening skills. We can practice. We can practice right now listening to the breeze. Do you hear the breeze behind me? Do you hear the road noise behind me? We can hone our skill of hearing the divine as well. We have the ability to sense life on a deeper level and to sense in that which is causing us pain. And once we're in a place of awareness with it, we can awaken to it. Then we have choice. Again, Charlotte Jocko Beck says joy is exactly what's happening, minus our opinion of it. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? So what Camille just read to us. So I'd be remiss if I didn't invite you again and again and again and again to Julie's Thursday night meditation. She's really fabulous at leading. And whether you have a practice that you've had for many years or you're new, it's a perfect place to go. Ethy led the one last Thursday night, and they're doing a beautiful job. They have 2 more weeks before their break, so jump on next Thursday. You know, in Science of Mind, we teach that when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. So, what time is it? What time is it? It's time to immerse yourself in life. That's what time it is, to immerse yourself in life. Again, immersion is the state of being fully engaged, so absorbed and present with the world so that you can savor the gifts that are all around. That's what my young friends are doing. They know their son's autism is an opportunity for growth. She even said to me, it's a healing. And she's received so many insights, both of them have received so many insights, and instead of hiding, they're embracing it, allowing their son to grow into his absolute best self. And she is doing the same. So inspired now, she's gone back to college, or gone to college, enrolled in college. She's inspired to get her PhD in psychology. She wants to help motivate other parents, to give them resources, to help them say yes to parenting, yes to their lives, yes to their children's lives. Can you imagine having this same enthusiasm about your life in every area of your life? Well, I can. I'm holding that for you. And so does James O'Malley. Last week, I talked about James O'Malley and his book, In Awe, the 9-year-old boy that was in an explosion in his home and burned 100% of his body, had 1% chance of life. Best-selling author, global speaker. And he believes that the secret to our success in life, our sustained happiness, and our genuine inner peace is recognizing what time is it. Recognizing what time it is. So what time is it? It's time to stop sleepwalking through life. It's time to wake up to life. It's time to make this now moment count. It's time to engage. It's time to put down the little electronic gadgets that we spend so much time looking at. It's time to look someone in the eye. It's time to listen to them. It's time to look and savor your food. It's time to look and savor the sunset. To even enjoy a day like this that's cloudy and a little cool. It's time to look inside. It's time to look at our thoughts. Because it's not that life is passing us by, but maybe it's that we're ignoring life. We're pushing life away. So I join John O'Malley in inviting you to climb high, go deep, and be engaged. And I am affirming that your heart is wide open to the joy and wonder of this thing called life. And so it is. Mindy.
So always when I read what Theresa's going to talk about, and this is so apropos to me, I was with my new interest person, and he is well, what do you suppose about this? Well, what do you suppose about that? Well, what do you think about that? And after a while, it's like, stop! I told him the one thing I have to do is sit in silence and let Spirit guide me to what music I am to do on Sunday morning. So can we just be quiet and just let me sit in the now and let Spirit tell me what music I am to do? It took about 5 minutes. He was quiet, he honored that, he sat quietly and I sat quietly. Boom, 3 songs, boom, boom, boom. This is an Al Jarreau tune. And the very first time I heard it, I was like, I have to record that, I have to learn that, but it's a traditional gospel tune. Well, when I recorded it, I had to go after the publishing rights, and Al Jarreau wrote it. It speaks so much to me of what Theresa just talked with us about, being in the now, believing in the now as the dream, and manifesting our truth. So it goes like this. Would you believe in a dream when I tell you that it's true? Could you believe, precious friends of mine? And would you believe when it seems that you're glad with what you do? Gives you courage to carry, gives you courage to carry, gives you to carry your freedom up on high, high. Go on, carry your freedom up on high. I saw people in trouble, heard the angels cry, don't tamper with my children, oh no, make the devil fly. Spent the night with David, he taught me how to pray. See, I was looking for a smooth stone when I heard him say, could you believe in a dream when I tell you, yes, it's true? Could you believe, precious friends of mine? And would you believe when it seems you are glad with what you do? Gives you courage to carry, gives you courage to carry. Carry your freedom up on high, high. Go on, carry your freedom up on high. Well, now I could sing you rhymes and reasons to lay your burdens softly down. Kings and prophets, oh, dead for freedom, their precious dreams imprisoned underground. But I've got this song that I sing, and I'll make the mountains ring. Go tell my mama I am awake and in the now. Do you believe in a dream when I tell you, yes, it's true? Could you believe, precious friends of mine? And would you believe when it seems you are glad with what you do? Gives you courage to carry, gives you courage to carry, courage to carry your spirit up on high, high. Go on, carry your spirit. Hey, now fly on in your freedom. Carry your spirit up on high. Yeah. Thank you.
What many people may not know is Al Jarreau actually has a New Thought church in Los Angeles, or at least did when I was last in Los Angeles. And the interesting thing is, we used to see Della Reese and Al Jarreau, who both had their own churches. They would sneak in and see the first service at Agape with Michael Beckwith, and then go do their own church services at 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and always in some sort of disguise, but so that you didn't necessarily recognize them and pick them out of the crowd, so to speak. So just in case you see this big bandage, I had dermatological surgery this past week, so that's nobody beat me up or anything. It's all good. And in the now, we notice what's going on. In the now, we recognize. In the now, we can appreciate the flow. And I've taught in at least 4 different prosperity classes over my time in Science of Mind. And all of them had some component that was labeled unexpected income, because that's part of the flow. And I just had an experience this past week. About 8 or 9 days ago, my wife and I went and got new iPhones, which meant that we were going to add just under $30 each to our monthly phone bill. So let's call it $59. And then I got an email from the manager of our condo who said, call this number because we have a new deal with Frontier on your cable service. And I called Frontier, and when I finished, the woman said, so you've been paying $77 a month, and your bill is going to go to, and I was going to expect something like half, zero. So now, I was thinking about it, I had an $18 positive flow. A little less than 60 going out, and a little more than 77 essentially coming back in, because when you don't have to spend it, that's like having income. So let's call that $18 a month of unexpected income, which will pretty much make up the difference on the Medicare increase on my Social Security. So there you go. It's about the flow. Be in the flow and notice. Be in the now, because when we're in the past or in the future, you're not in the now. So support our wonderful Center for Spiritual Living, the kind of message that we've all participated in delivering this morning, and the view and the weather and whatever it is, but be in the now. Support the center. Evan is posting all the different ways you can give, and the least of which you could just do a snail mail, and checks are always received well. So love and blessings, and let's just take a moment and bless the giver and bless the gift, and know that all comes together to serve this powerful ministry that we are all in, as, and of in every moment. Love and blessings. Bobby?
Thank you so much, Rev G. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
Thank you. I hope you've had a good time this morning. I've had a good time this morning. The only announcement I have is a plea for you to let us know how we can support you. It's, we've had several people, multiple people, related to our community, members of our community, friends of our community, that have recently either been exposed or contracted COVID. They're home, they're sick, they're asymptomatic, they're struggling, all realms of that, and we want to know. Our practitioners are ready and willing and able and to pray, to keep you in prayer support. And what a relief to know that we are doing that. I would hope that that's a relief to you. So don't stay at home in your thoughts, in your struggle. Reach out. You can do it by email.
Prayer at CSLCulturalCoast.org.
Thank you. Forgot if it was, yeah, prayer. And let us know. Let us be there supporting you in consciousness, doing what we're trained to do. We do absolutely believe in healing. We absolutely believe in the change of circumstances and conditions by the power of our thought. And let us practice that. Let us be supportive of you. So that's the only thing I want to say. You want to close us out?
Yes, I do.
All right. Love you all. Love you so much. Thanks for being with us.
Closing with a song from Melissa Felipe called Infinite Possibilities. we all are one, made up of the love throughout creation. There is an endless supply of the power that brings us here. And when we harness that life, you know nothing can stop us now. And everything can happen right here. So open your heart and start believing. The only limit is your mind. You can have everything. Let's go beyond fantasy, 'cause we're living in a world of infinite possibilities. Knowing who we are, stepping into the mystery, manifesting our dreams, spirit of pure divinity. 'Cause we're living in a world of infinite possibilities. Come on, step into the limitless who you are. Oh, follow the path that leads to freedom. You only need to let it be, 'cause everything's here within. You know expansion is a natural thing, 'cause we're living in a world of infinite possibilities. Knowing who we are, spirit of pure divinity, manifesting our dreams, stepping into the mystery. 'Cause we're living in a world of infinite possibilities. Knowing who we are, spirit of pure divinity, manifesting our dreams, stepping in a world of infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities.